Good afternoon, guys, and happy Monday to all of your sunshiny faces. Guys, this whole lockdown thing is totally throwing me off. Shelter in place order that we have. It's just like I was just starting like the week right before like everything kind of started to like really get bad, you know, and like people were, you know, out at the grocery stores and like all this kind of stuff. That Monday right before, which was 2 weeks ago, I guess now, I was like actually starting to get up. Like I think 3 days in a row I was up at like 8 o'clock or something like that maybe, and then by like that would have been like Monday, Tuesday, and I think Wednesday maybe, but then like by Wednesday, Thursday, all of a sudden like I was just like really not doing good again. Maybe like Thursday or Friday and stuff like that, and like then I was like going to bed late again and like not getting up early and stuff like that. I think that was also because Matthew was that's when he was at spring break, so those first like 3 days, which was when he was gone actually, because they ended up going to Montana, him and his girlfriend, and her mom. They went like on a little spring break getaway kind of thing, and so they were gone those 3 days, or I think he left on Sunday, but like, you know, those 3 days during the week I was actually doing really good with like going to bed early, waking up early and stuff like that, I think. And then as soon as he came back, like it totally threw me off. But then everything else, like just the fact that like everybody's still here, like and my dad's still going to work, but like, you know, my mom is like, you know, sleeping at weird hours and stuff like that. Jack has been home for the last, you know, this is now going on the second week. He was home from school all of last week, and then he has this week of school, and then next week he's technically on spring break, so he doesn't actually have like classwork that he has to do online. And Matthew just started, he had 2 weeks of spring break, which was originally just supposed to be one. They gave them a second week of spring break and then said that they're going to at least do 1 week of class. Then they ended up changing that to where the whole rest of the semester is just going to be online, because it goes until May, I believe. So, what was I going to say? So, yeah, like I said, it's really throwing me off, like the fact that everybody's here, everybody's staying up and going to bed at weird hours. Like my dad's the only one that like is still like going to bed at a normal time and waking up at a normal time. However, like my mom, she's going to bed like, because normally she'd get up at, you know, 7 o'clock in the morning and drive Jack to school. Now she doesn't have to do that, so like she's waking up and going to bed and like on weird hours too. And so like just like the routine of the rest of the house too is throwing me off. So where I was just starting to get back into like going to bed early and waking up early, now I've completely like just that it's completely out the window. And I feel like the same thing too, like when I don't have a schedule or a routine, like I don't get a lot of stuff done. And I'm very bad with man-made schedules, meaning like if I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go do this at such and such time, or I'm gonna go and do this at such and such time, I am really, really bad at that. If it's like I have a completely whole free day and I don't have anything going on, which has been lately the last week, you know, or whatever, that we've pretty much been on lockdown. And so, you know, the fact that like, I mean, again, the shelter in place order has only been in place since Monday, or no, Sunday night or whatever it was, or no, Saturday night. So today's Monday. But like, you know, we haven't gone like anywhere really since like me and Matthew went to the grocery stores like last week. So not this last weekend, but the weekend before that. We went on Friday, and then me and my dad went on Saturday. So that was the last time like I've left the house. It's been over a week. So like I said, it's kind of like throwing me off. But like without having a schedule, or like, you know, but like the last, you know, like I said, pretty much over a week now has just been, we haven't been doing anything. There's no plans to get anything done or anything like that, you know, and everybody's doing things at different hours and like, you know, all kinds of stuff. So, you know, like I said, there's no like schedule or anything. And I'm really bad with like making one for myself, you know, so being like, okay, I'm gonna get up at 8 o'clock and I'm going to get XYZ done at this time, and then I'm going to do, you know, ABC at this time, you know, and stuff like that. Whereas like when over the summer, like while I was babysitting, like, you know, when I was in school and stuff like that, like it was very easy for me to be like, okay, when I come home, I'm going to do this. Or, you know, when I was babysitting, it was like, okay, now we're gonna have lunch, and, you know, he gets here at such and such time, and we were babysitting or whatever, you know, we'll have lunch at this time, and then we'll do this, and then, you know, I mean, it wasn't always like to a T or whatever, you know, we would be flexible, like if he was in the middle of, you know, wanting to do something else, and it was like, okay, do you want to have, you know, eat now, or do you just want to have a snack, you know, that whole kind of thing, kind of still being flexible and everything. But like it was easy for me to be like, okay, well, while he is doing this with Jack, I'll go do a load of laundry, or he can do this by himself and I'll do the dishes, you know, and then while we eat, like I would edit and stuff like that. And I was like super caught up with the vlogs and everything like that over the summer, editing wise and everything, just because of, you know, like being on a really good, and, you know, it was kind of a man-made schedule, I guess, but it was like, okay, while he's here, I'm going to do these things at this time, you know, and try and get the things that, you know, the chores and normal stuff that I have to get done, you know, while we're babysitting and stuff. And since me and Jack were both doing it, you know, if like him and Jack might play like Minecraft or something for a little while, and then we do like, you know, something else. You know, some type of activity, or, you know, whatever, have lunch and stuff like that. So like, you know, I could get things done while like maybe they were doing something, or he was doing something on his own, or, you know, again, if like we were having lunch or watching a movie or something like that. So I was able to like, okay, I'll edit right now while we're watching a movie, or, you know, I'll go do laundry or dishes while he's eating or something, you know. So like I said, it was kind of like that flexible, but, you know, still like a structured schedule sort of thing. And like not having any structure, I'm like left to my own devices. Like I don't, like, you know what I mean, it's kind of how it's been. But like even to like, okay, I don't have to make a list to go to the grocery stores, because we're, you know, we're just kind of putting down like, okay, like we need this thing or we need that or whatever. Because I mean, you know, we're kind of going over like, okay, we don't have this thing or we need that. Like I was, I noticed we didn't have any, or we're running low on like bags, like sandwich, not sandwich bags, but like freezer bags and stuff like that, which we will sometimes store leftovers in, or for like freezer dinners or whatever, which I'm not really making right now. But again, just in case like emergency, we should freeze, you know. I was thinking of freezing some of the bread that we actually have, because I think I told you guys, Matthew's girlfriend ended up going out shopping, and she bought us 2 loaves of bread, and my dad thought she only got 1, so he ended up going and buying like 2 larger but like not full-size loaves. And so I was like, okay, we currently have 4 loaves of bread, guys. I don't think we're going to eat all of this probably by the time like we need to. Plus we still have some rye bread left over from last weekend that's still good. So we ended up doing Reuben sandwiches, because my dad got a corned beef, and there's leftovers to do that again tomorrow. Everybody like loved those Reuben sandwiches my mom made. So anyways, that's what we're doing for food tomorrow, guys. Kind of told you guys I'd keep you updated as to our food journeys and everything like that. But like, you know, that's, like I said, freezer bags are one thing we're out of. Butter is another thing. We don't have like stick butter that my mom wants to use. She doesn't want to use the butter we already have, because she thinks it tastes like the refrigerator, like it's absorbed the taste or the smell of the refrigerator, and butter does do that. But like she's like, oh, it just tastes weird and stuff like that. I don't know. But so my dad got like regular spreadable butter, but we don't have like any like sticks of butter. So like I said, we have some in the fridge, but that's not what my mom wants. She wanted like a new stick or you know, a new thing of butter. They didn't have any of the stores last weekend, so you know, that was just another thing to add to like the grocery list or whatever. So like I said, you know, that kind of stuff, we're just kind of adding things as they go. So like even that, like I don't even have a structure of like, okay, the weekends we go to the grocery store. Like it's just really my dad that's going out and running and grabbing a couple things, since he's out anyway, because he still has to work. You know, it's better to, you know, just have one person going instead of, you know, a whole family going to the grocery store right now. You know, it just enhances the risk. So like I said, guys, it's been a little crazy right now. But you know, like I said, scheduling wise, like my mom's like, well then let's just use our planners together. Like that's what she wanted to do last night. She's like, get your planner and I'll get my planner and we'll do these. And I was like, normally what I do is I'm just like, okay, here are the like top 5 things, or, you know, the top handful of things that I want to get done for tomorrow, you know, or like, you know, these are the things, XYZ is what I have to do. You know, I want to make sure that I edit, I want to make sure I upload, I want to make sure that I do dishes and laundry, and we have dinner, like, you know, my top 5 things or whatever normally. And then I'll add in there, you know, like make sure I make my list for the grocery store, go to the grocery stores on the weekends, you know, you know, if there was this thing that I need to do or that thing or whatever, and, you know, we have to go and run this errand or, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, I normally just put little things in my planner, but it helps me stay on track for some of those bigger things. But again, like, even for the smaller things, like, you know, because there is no, some of that stuff, like, you know, really can't even go to the grocery stores, like, you know, that whole kind of thing, can't make a list and all that kind of stuff. You know, so it's like just really weird. And like I said, everybody too is kind of in that same boat. Like, we're all left to our own devices, and like nobody is having a schedule of doing anything. So then like it kind of throws me off even more, because I kind of follow the herd of what everybody else is doing, and that's what, like, you know, everybody in our household, with, again, the exception of my dad, who is going to, you know, still going to work, gets up at the same time, goes to work, you know, comes home, you know, kind of does the same thing, except tomorrow I think he said, and maybe the rest of the week he might be home a little bit earlier, just because of I think they're have a shortened day anyway, like work wise. They can just kind of come home earlier, so we might be home like a few hours earlier. But again, you know, like I said, that whole kind of thing, like, so I mean, everybody's schedule is kind of getting screwed up just a little bit, and it's very, very confusing. And so I'm like, okay, like, you know, it's hard for me to even follow that too. So like, I've seen people like, oh, make a schedule for yourself, like that'll help you, you know, in the quarantine and stuff like that. And I was like, it really doesn't help me, because if I don't have anywhere to go, that's kind of how I schedule sometime and plan my weeks, or like around the big things that I have going on that involve me having to actually leave the house. But like the smaller things, you know, are the things that I can kind of just get done whenever. You know, but not having that, I'm like, I can't, like, you know, and I'm not good at following, like I said, my own schedule. Like, it has to be something that's implemented, like I said, like babysitting, you know, or even too, when I was gardening, like outside and stuff like that, it was very, like, I was still on a routine, I felt like, when I was doing that. So it was very, like, you know, I'd get up at early in the morning while it was still cool out, before it'd get super hot in the summer, you know, and to try and do that. So I would get myself into that routine of doing it, and, you know, then everything else kind of follows. And I feel like when I'm productive with things, everything else kind of just like follows from there. But again, I've been able to like still get normal chores and all that kind of stuff done, but like, I don't know, it's just like everybody else is just like, I'm just gonna sit around and watch the news all day, or watch TV, or I'm just gonna, you know, watch Netflix, I'm just gonna play video games all day. And so like, that's what everybody else is doing, and you kind of fall into the trap of what everybody else in the house is doing. So yeah, guys, that's me right now, not being insanely productive, but like I said, I've been able to get some stuff done that, like, you know, I haven't, but I don't know. I don't know, I need to try and figure out how to maybe get myself a little bit more motivated and stuff. But it's just like everything too that's like going on in the world right now is also so distracting. So it's like you can't really, like, you know, be like, oh, I'm gonna try and get this done, when you're like, oh my goodness, like what's going on, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And like, you know, your mind just kind of keeps wandering with everything that's going on. So that's also like very hard, I think, to stay focused on something. So anyways, guys, I will see you all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.